Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump, and today I'll be doing my top 5 least favourite mini-bosses from the Legend of Zelda. Now, mini-bosses are basically they're placed in like halfway through the dungeon, and basically are there to give Link the item once defeated. And I think in the Legend of Zelda series that there are a lot of interesting mini-bosses in the game, all throughout the games. But there are some that I don't like so much, and depending on which game you're playing, sometimes they might give you the item for a particular dungeon, or they're just there to be there. And so yeah, so that's what I'm going to do today. So for number 5 is Snapper from Spirit Tracks. Now with Snapper, it's basically this giant bird thing with a whip, which is the item you get in the Marine Temple. And I'm not a big fan of this mini boss, mainly because it's very annoying, and I think it's just it looks too simple, I would say. And I get that the game was made for the DS, and you can't do really a lot of things on the DS, because that can only do so much in terms of graphics or gameplay or whatever, depending on what game you're playing. But with Snapper, the whole thing in the fight is just, it grabs you with its whip, and then you can't really use anything but your sword. And the only way to basically just try and attack you is to run away, and then it will pull you in, and then you have to attack. And I remember every time I would do this, I would always fail a lot of the time, and I would just find that to be annoying. And then later on in the dungeon, you'd find like 2 more, and again, that's really annoying, and they're just really annoying to fight, and they just got a very simple design. They're just these big bird looking things, and I'm not a really big fan of this mini boss. For number 2 is the second Moldovak. Now this is from Skyward Sword, and you find this in the shipyard when you're trying to find Scrapper's main ship, or Scrapper's ship, because it holds the second sacred flame, and one of the locations that you go to is the shipyard. Now with the shipyard, or with the second Moldovak, it's kind of there, because like you're kind of looking for clues on where the ship is. And when you find the second Moldovak, it's pretty much done, because like it's over in a few minutes, because you know how to fight this boss. And again, this is like another, and it's like really not that. I don't know, because like it's basically the same boss as the first time you fight it in the Ancient Cistern. No, not the Ancient Cistern. In the mining facility, but it's just there again. It's okay, I guess, but anything else, it would have been a lot better I think it would have been a lot better if it had some new attacks or something, or it would, I don't know, because the first time you fight Moldovak, it's kind of exciting and fun, because like, you know, you're using the gust bellows that you get in the dungeon. And yeah, and then when you fight it the second time, it's kind of just doing the same thing again, where you hit its pincers, you hit its eye in the middle, and then it goes underground, and then you have just to use the gust bellows to find it. And yeah, it would have been better if it had some new established attacks, maybe. Maybe it could spew poison or something, or I don't know, use a laser attack or something. I know that's like, you know, and I know it's a scorpion, but something new or interesting would be cool for the second fight. For number 3 is Big Octo from Ocarina of Time. Now, what I don't like about this fight is that it's mainly in the arena that you're in, because in the dungeon that you're in is in Jabba Jabba's belly, and the room that you're in is very small. Even though it's like big in terms of the entire room itself, the amount of space you have is quite small, because in the middle you have this platform which has spikes like all around it, and then you've got this like just this like just the outer area of it, and and that what bothers me, because like even if, because it feels too small, it feels too cramped. I think it would have been a lot better if the mini boss arena was a lot bigger and a lot larger, just so I can have enough space, just enough space so I can try and fight Big Octo. And also Big Octo itself, it goes round in a circle, and I don't remember a lot about the boss apart from it just goes round in a circle and you have to try and hit it with the boomerang, and that's all I remember from it. And it's not really that fun, I would say, because I don't remember it hitting me a lot of the time, and even if it did, I don't remember how much damage it does. But it's not a really fun boss if it just goes around in a circle. And yeah, and I just sort of wished if the boss area or the mini boss arena was just a bit larger, just so I can just so there was enough space, because a lot of the time I remember a lot of the time I just took damage from the spikes on the platform instead of the main Big Octo himself. And I don't remember him doing any major attacks in terms of him using rocks or something, because he's, I believe, a part of the Octo rocks type of enemies. And I don't remember him using any kind of rock attack that normally Octo rocks would do. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this fight. For number 2 is Skull Kid from Twilight Princess. Now with Skull Kid, you fight him twice, I believe, and they're both in the Lost Woods. And with this fight, it's basically you have to basically run after him, and that's basically it. And he summons like these wooden puppet doll things, and yeah, and then you have to try and find him. And the only easy way to find him is listening to the music itself, because the music, the closer you get to Skull Kid, you'll be able to hear him play along to the song of the Lost Woods, and then when you attack him, he'll disappear somewhere else. And then when you get to fight him in the open area bit, you basically have to fight him and his puppet dolls. And I find this part to be really annoying, just because every time I defeat the puppets, he'll always summon more, or he'll probably teleport to another area, and I find that really annoying, just because just because of that bit, just because he just summons more and more of his puppets, and it'll just take me like a lot of time to defeat them all, and then aim for Skull Kid. And then you have to do this another time, because the first time you fight him is with Wolf Link, because of Zant, he cursed you to stay as Wolf Link, and then you become normal Link when you get the Master Sword. And the second time is when you're trying to find the one of the pieces of the Mirror of Twilight, and then you have to fight him again. And yeah, and again it's just the same thing, and it's just, I just find it to be really annoying, I would say, just to find Skull Kid and then defeat him and then doing it again. So I just find it to be really annoying. And for number 1 is Rocktite, I believe I'm saying that right, and this is from Spirit Tracks. Now Rocktite appears several times in the game, and this is during like several story elements of the game. Basically what Rocktite is this giant rock spider looking thing, and the way to defeat it is by trying to hit the eye that's in his mouth, and he's basically you just basically have to run away from it on your train, and that's basically it. It's kind of like the second Moldovak fight, in which there really isn't anything that this monster does. The only thing it does do is just jump onto your train when it gets close enough, and I think it would have been a lot cooler if it had that during each encounter that you have with it. It would have gotten something more cooler, like it summons those little spider things that comes out from the darkness, and there obviously some of them do appear, but it would have been cool if the main spider guy did it himself. Or if he had like, let's say a screech, let's say, and then he could summon those spider things. It would have been a lot cooler just to see him have more interesting movesets instead of just running towards you, jumping down onto your train. And I feel like with, I think one of the later fights, they do get a bit harder, but not by that much. It's still easy to do if you're able to aim at the eye, but I still find this mini boss to be very boring, and it's just really boring, and I just really wish that it had some new attacks or something that during each fight it would help me differentiate the fights, and it would be, yeah, so I'm not a really big fan of this mini boss. So that's been my top 5 least favourite Zelda mini bosses. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.